Episode 425, ladies and gentlemen, Pancakes and Powerslams show features former WWE Tag Team Champion, former Ring of Honor World Champion, PCO, oh yeah, WCW Hardcore Champion too. We're going to talk about his time working with Owen Hart, Royal Rumble 1994. Let's go! PNP Nation, are you ready? Wrench Mob, are you ready? Well, you know what time it is. Pancakes and Powerslams, episode 425. Well, it's time to do this thing. Let's go!
Yeah. You already know what time it is. It's that official time. Where we take this worldwide. Let's go. Listen. So now it's time to turn it up. Surf the radio waves as we begin to burn it up. We all up in your area like landscape, definitely bringing you the power of pancakes. It's a mandate that you tune in. It's time to move out so we can move in and recognize that this is no illusion. I'm here to clear the air so that there is no confusion. It all started off in the book of Genesis when Jacob was wrestling with who he thought was his nemesis. And when the man saw he couldn't overpower him, he touched his hip but he really couldn't devour him. And from that point, then we hear a name change, rearrange the game. So now we gotta change change lanes. So I'm here to let you know it's time to listen to the Pancake and Power Slam show. Let's go. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam show. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam show. Turn it up.
What's going on, everybody? Episode 425, Pancakes and Power Slam show. I'm Chris Featherstone, and we are live and living color, getting funky like a monkey, if you will, baby. Yeah. So how's the PNP Nation doing tonight? How is the PNP Nation doing tonight? Let me know how y'all doing. We got a lot to talk about today. We got some happy things, some sad things. Unfortunately, there is a lot to talk about tonight, so we shall do that. All right, so the play of the week this week, we're going to talk about the new bookcase. Yeah, absolutely, and check that out too. So I told you upgrades. I told you, yes. So here's the crazy thing. So my buddy Del Wilkes was supposed to be on the show tonight. He texted me at thank you, Elvis. He texted me at 9:28 p.m. He was ready to rock and roll. We talked on the phone. We actually talked video chatted today. We talked on the phone last night. We talked on the phone today and video chatted today. We got everything set up. And then he texted me at 9:28. Said he's sitting on the side of the interstate with car problems. And he's waiting on AAA. So that is unfortunate. Very, very much so unfortunate. So, unfortunately, we had to reschedule. We had to cancel Del Wilkes because he's stuck in the side of the road. But as always, you know how I do it with the PNP show. I am all about having an interview every week. So you know how it is. So we're going to do that. So I was like, you know what? I still want to stay in the in the Owen Hart theme. Okay. So I was like, you know what? Who can I call to still stick with the Owen Hart theme? And I was like, PCO. So gave my buddy PCO a call, and just like PCO is, man, he's always game. And so that's what happened. So PCO was game for tonight, and we talked about Owen Hart. So the interview is 17 minutes and 44 seconds. So check out the interview with PCO that I just had like probably an hour ago. So I called him. I called him, and we talked about Owen Hart. So you'll enjoy it. And play of the week tonight, we're going to talk about the Royal Rumble 1994. It's funny because the Owen Hart heel turn, the Royal Rumble 1994. Guess who was in that match? PCO. So we're going to. So we talked about that interview too. So you will enjoy it. All right. So here we go. Then we're going to talk about, there's a lot to talk about. We talk about some releases, some very unfortunate. I'll give you an update. Yes, I did talk to some people about an update, and I will let you know that after the interview. So, all right, PCO, let's do this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Featherstone, Pancakes and Powerslams, episode 425. I got my buddy on the phone right now. This person is always clutch. He's my guy. He's my buddy. Without further ado, PCO, how are you tonight, sir?
Hey, what's up, Chris? How are you? I'm great. Fantastic.
Awesome, man. So, let's talk about Owen Hart's dark side of the ring. So, you've had some experience working with Owen Hart. You've had a few matches with him as a part of the match. You've actually teamed with him as well back in '95. You were Jean-Pierre Lafitte. You teamed up with him and Bulldog. And but of course, your most memorable match was the infamous Royal Rumble 1994 when you competed against Brett and Owen. You and Jacques and Pierre, of course, Jacques Rougeau, the Quebecers. It was in Providence, Rhode Island, I believe, 1994. The infamous Royal Rumble match between the two, and that was the time. That was when Owen kicked Brett's leg, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a crucial night for Owen's career because that led up to the, I believe, to the title match at the Madison Square Garden for WrestleMania. They started feuding together, starting from that match where, because the storyline was like Brett didn't want to tag Owen for the comeback. He was trying to make his own comeback, and then after the match, Owen turned on Brett for being selfish.
Yeah.
So that was the story there, and that was a hell of a match. That was one of the best matches of the night.
Yes.
I mean, because back then Meltzer was not on the net as much. He had so dirt sheet, and it came out as the best match of Royal Rumble '94.
Nice.
So it was a lot going on there, and that was a lot. Like it was a huge night for Brett as well, and Brett was winning the Rumble, and it was supposed to be Luger winning the Rumble, like before all, with the Lex Express and everything, and so it was a huge night for Owen. It put his brother Brett back on picture for the title, and eventually Owen got the title off Brett. So I don't know exactly how long after that match had happened that he became WWE World Champion, but it was when everything started for him as a heel. So it was like super cool.
Yeah.
Because I always had a very good relationship with both brothers, actually, but especially with Owen. Like he's very, very. He was a guy who liked to do like small ribs and have fun and play tricks on people a lot, And it was just like someone with a smile on his face all the time, and a very happy person on a day-to-day basis. Never saw him like that on any bad mood or any depression. He was always like pretty much very up for anything.
Yeah. When I kicked your leg, Brett, it felt good, Brett. The infamous line.
Yeah, promos are like that.
Yeah, it really put Owen on the map, and a lot of people call him one of the biggest uncrowned world champions in pro wrestling history. It just seems like he kind of had that in the shadow of his brother kind of stigma when he shouldn't have, and I would Brett believe that too. But Brett was just such a larger-than-life character at that time. It was really tough for Owen to really stand out by himself. But turning him heel was actually good for him because he did have world title opportunities. He never won the world title, but he should have, in my opinion. But making him heel at the Royal Rumble really really made him stand out as far as a character is concerned. Ended up being Intercontinental Champion, of course, had a really good feud with Steve Austin, of course. So he was such an indelible character. Now, you weren't around in '99 in the WWE when the infamous.
I was around. I was around the immediate dressing room, but I was with many of the boys. I was watching the pay-per-view from our. I was with Power Pro Wrestling, which was like the just before OVW and just before Florida Championship Wrestling. It was like the farm, farm team developmental territory. Like where I was there to work on maybe working on a character or trying to get something going, and I was there with many guys with Kurt Angle and also Tattoo, Rosie, Jamal, all those guys. We were all wrestling down in Memphis, and a lot of other guys like Steve Basson or Steve Bradley and Glenn Colca, the football player, and Mike Cherney.
Stacey
like MMA guy. And we were a bunch of guys, and we were all, watching the pay-per-view. And I remember when, they said something that happened, and, and when we got back, when the show started back, and Lawler and Ross were saying that that wasn't a part of the show. It was an horrible accident and everything. The show kept going. From that point on, it's like you could hear like flies, in the building because the atmosphere was not there anymore. It was just a tough going from that match to the rest of the show. It was like very, very hard. And I remember that I was really, really sad. I was kind of close to Owen. So we had been like, I followed his footstep a little bit. Like he was working for Autovans, and I just kind of missed him. And then I got with the Autovans, and when I just left and was making his debut, WWE, and then when I got there, he did his thing with Jim Neidhart, did his thing with Kobe Beware, I believe, and did a few characters that didn't really work out that much, but he kept on pushing, and he kept on trying, and eventually, that match Royal Rumble '94, that was his big breakthrough to the single career.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
but I was really sad, like when I heard that, he passed. It was a very, very emotional moment for me because I had had a lot of times that we were together discussing the business, and he was the type of guy that was really tight with his money. He wouldn't overspend money. He wouldn't spend a dime, actually. So I've got so many good memories of him, traveling with the fans, just not to rent a car or to get a place, so we wouldn't have to rent a hotel room or buy food that much, So he was really putting a lot of money on the side for his family and trying to assure the future of himself and the future of the family. And then all those efforts that he was making You know, it's too bad that he didn't have a chance to take profit, to benefit from that. So that's so I knew the whole story, how Owen was, and how a family guy he was, and he was not the type of guy that to go to bars and go out and things like that. You know, he was really family oriented, and that's why it was like it's tough to see him go. It's really tough.
Yeah, definitely. So my last question for you tonight, PCO, is what is a Owen Hart rib that you could remember?
It was just a small rib. Jacques was totally against rib. You know, he never liked rib. You know, the whole situation with happened with Jacques and Dynamite Kid, where he got his pants cut out, and then he went to an agent and told him, and then he got got slapped in the face by Dynamite saying you're a stooge and things like that, and eventually Jacques got Dynamite back and by knocking all his teeth out of his mouth and retiring from the wrestling business basically, and ending up his wrestling career. So when they were at the airport and Owen take Jacques' jacket and he put it behind like let's say an old man, it was probably a 70-year-old guy, and he put Jacques' jacket like on the back of the seat where the guy was sitting, and like when the guy got up and not to go board the flight, he said, "Sir, you forgot your jacket." So he gave Jacques' jacket to that person. Jacques was looking at his jacket saying, "Hey, this is my jacket." And he was so pissed, like so mad, because he hated like ribs. And he warned Owen to never hit them again, because that wouldn't work, that he would like have to pay the price if he would rib him again. But I just thought it was funny, and it was not like a huge rib, like something where, you shake someone's half of his head or eyebrows or, it's just things like that. It was just like, basically staying with his jacket, and Jacques was looking for his jacket, and Owen was trying to hand it to that guy. I guess, "Oh, that's in my jacket." "Hey, yes, sir, it's your jacket." And it was just like one of those there where I was watching many of the other boys, like we were all sitting on waiting to board, and everybody was laughing. He has done so many little ribs like that. It's just like he just loved that, and it was like a kid smiling, So. Yeah,
that's what he's known for.
And then I just remember that he picked on the wrong guy. That made it even like more funny because Jacques was fuming. He's had bad experiences with that.
Yeah.
So wow, but Jacques, he always liked Owen as well. So it was no big deal after that. They always got along. It was not like something that created like any correlation between them. So he really liked Owen, but he knew that he was a guy that likes to play little tricks like that. So it was just funny.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, PCO, it's been a pleasure, man, to chat with you about Owen Hart. I appreciate your time. Let the listeners know real quick what you got coming up, man. We're starting to reopen the country, so I'm sure that you've got some dates that you're eager to get back into.
What we're doing right now, we're having like town hall meetings, like on the whole company, the Ring of Honor. We're like the whole roster every Thursday at 4 p.m. We got updates and meetings, and we're very international. We got a lot of talents from Australia. We got talents from England, the UK, Ireland, things like that. And I'm from Canada, so right now the borders are closed. So it's really tough. And from what I understood, like from our last meeting, they Ring of Honor don't want to start until they have a full roster, and they have like also guys like in LA where it's a major lockdown for the next 3 months still to go. So it's going, and the company Ring of Honor for them health comes first, and they want to make sure that when we start back, we're going to be tested before the tour, after the tour, and be test maybe every day, and help be safe, a safe environment, and they don't want to take any risk. So that's where we at right now. We're on a weekly basis, like meetings, and trying to find out as this thing evolves, what will be our next move as a roster or as a company, and so it's hard to have any plans. I'm just keeping ready, training hard, and working hard. As what we've got, because there's a lot of rings that aren't available right now. I can't go to the ring that I usually go because it's in a gym, and the gym has to be closed. So it's I just have access to like some private gym and things like that. Like Destro's got a gym, and I've got other friends got gyms. So I'm just working out and keeping myself in shape for a return, and just be as ready as I can, with the condition that we've got right now. And just hoping for the better. Hoping for the better. Can't wait to start back. That's the thing I want. I want crowds. I'm hoping that we got at least do studio TV if we can go like to large crowd. Yeah, that's where we're at. I'm totally against wrestling in front of nobody. So that's my point of view. Not everybody thinks the same way, but that's where we at.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it can be sooner than later, and I'm ready to see PCO back in front of a big crowd. And appreciate your time, man, as always.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. All right, PCO. Appreciate you coming on the show, man. As I always say, every week. Hey, every week we're going to have an interview. So, what a difference a week makes, decorator wise. What a difference a week makes, right? And I'm still having some ideas of what I want to do. So, all right, so let's jump in the show tonight. We got a lot to talk about, and first of all, let's start off with some trivia. Let's try to bring some levity to the night, because we're going to talk about some heavy stuff tonight. So let's bring some levity to it. So let's start off with a first trivia question. The first trivia question of the night is: who did Goldberg compete against at the 2003 Backlash pay-per-view? Who did Goldberg compete against at the 2003 Backlash pay-per-view? 2003 Backlash pay-per-view. Backlash 2003. Let's see. Get your thinking caps on. What's going on, everybody? Mike, Alma, how is it? How's everybody? What I think of Money in the Bank and Becky being pregnant. Oh, I'm guessing you weren't here last week, Marissa. Were you not here last week? Money in the Bank was Becky being pregnant is great. I mean, congratulations. I'm all about new birth in the world. Yeah. So I'll just keep it at that. Seth Rollins, we talked about last week. Just go last week. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Congratulations on the baby. So ask me offline about and I'll get further into it as far as that is concerned. Maybe on Twitter or something. Let's see. Any Ask Chris? Any more Ask Chris? You went to brush your teeth. Yeah, it's already over. Let's see. Brandon. Yes, good job. The Rock. The Rock. Good job. Good job. Good job. Who was originally scheduled for tonight? Del Wilkes. And he got stuck on the side of the road and texted me at 9:28. And so, because I do it for you, just like every week, just like I make a weekly interview and I'll stick to it, I called up my boy PCO to talk about Owen Hart. So, I'm telling y'all need to look. Y'all need to support me on Patreon, man. Hands down. Y'all need to support me on Patreon. Do it. Do it now. Because I'll do it for you. Hey, look, y'all, look. Go to Patreon, all right? Go to Patreon. Go support your boy on Patreon. You get your t-shirts, you get your bells and whistles and all that good stuff. Go support my boy. Go support your boy on Patreon. I mean, come on now. Every single week, and I'm sitting here at 9:28 with no interview, and I'm going my Rolodex and call people. And so I actually had an interview that someone said they can't do it. And then I had someone else say that they can make some things happen, and that didn't work out. And then I called Del Wilkes last night at like 10 o'clock at night. And I was like, hey, can you make this work? And he was like, yeah, I'll do it. I called him at like 10 o'clock at night yesterday. And I was like, hey, Dale, can you come on the show tomorrow? And he was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then he got stuck on the side of the road. And then I call PCO. So I'm calling all these people for you all, going through my Rolodex of people to make sure you guys have an interview every single week. So, come on now. The least you could do is go check out Pancakes and Powerslams on Patreon. All right. So this is the Patreon account. Here we go. All right. So you have, like my dude Cole said, cheaper than a cheeseburger. All right. So you have $1 a month to support. Like I'm I'm really doing my best not to tax you all. So that's an appreciation gift. For $5.99, you get your t-shirt after 3 months, actually. And then actually you get one t-shirt after 3 months. You get the regular Pancakes and Powerslams, like my screen here, black t-shirt with the logo on it. And then after 6 months, you get your personalized t-shirt with your name on the side and the hashtag wrench mob. All right. And then we're going to start opening up guest hosting for you all to be on the show video wise. And then I'm going to have some, I'm going to start having some exclusive blogs to put on there for you, especially with information. Actually, I had some information today that I'm going to share tonight, but it would have been an exclusive as far as Shad Gaspard. So yeah, come on, y'all. Just go here. Matter of fact, I'm about to make it really easy for you. I'm about to put it on the link. Only thing you have to do is just click on the link. That's it. Like, just give $1 a month or $5.99 a month. So I really did my best not to tax your pockets when I give you all interviews every single week. So you know how much time and effort I put in to make sure this show is being tip top and stand out. You hear a wrestler every single week. So the best. I mean, come on. The least you can do is just give $1, $5.99 a month. So do that for your boy. All right. Do that for your boy. Mo is a honorary Wrench Mob member. He's a Patreon. And here's the thing. Here's the thing, y'all. Yeah, here's the thing. Like, again, I say I'm about to be a doctor, and I don't have the time to really put much into the show anymore, but I still find time every single week to make sure that you guys have the best of the best interviews and the best of the best newest information and a tip-top show. All right, so go to the Patreon here, and everybody who's watching, there's thousands of people who watch every single week. Thousands and thousands of people. I kid you not. I'm not inflating. As a matter of fact, last week I don't even see. I don't even concentrate on audio as much anymore. Last week we had. Let me find out. Let me see how many. Just video. Last week we had. Let me find out. I ain't going to inflate this. All right. I'm going to give you the real deal. Yeah, I'm going to give you the real deal. Last week's show, 4,200 video watchers, 4,200. So as many people who watch the show, and that's just on one platform. That's not including YouTube. That's not including audio. So yeah, and and that's just on one platform. So for all those people who listen to the show, be sure to go to the Patreon, y'all, and just give your boy some support, man. If you believe that this show is some good quality stuff, and I bust my butt every week to make sure that y'all have an interview, I mean, give me some support, man. All right, simple as that. Yeah, go and support your guy. All right. Next trivia question on deck is who won the WWE Championship at the 2017 Backlash pay-per-view? All of us appreciate what you do and love the show. Yes, I do. Put your money where your mouth is and give $1 a month. Or $5.99 a month if you want a T-shirt, and support monetarily. That would be greatly appreciated. What else we got? Ask Chris. Yes, I do. Let me know, Ryan. Let me know, Mike, because I don't have the time. I just don't. Unfortunately, I don't have the time. Edge and Randy Orton confrontation on Raw. I'm not really into it, honestly. I mean, it'll be a decent match, I guess, but I'm not really into it. Good evening, Alonzo. Great to have you. I don't think there's taxes. There may be, but I don't think there's. There's not much tax on $1 a month or $5.99 a month. Yeah, get that top tier like me. That's right. And Mo got his shirt too. You'll be getting your other shirt soon. All this crazy pandemic stuff has been jacking up my the person who makes my shirts, and just a bunch of craziness. So yeah, I've not seen NWA Carney Land yet. Robbie, I've not seen it yet. I just watched Taker's first episode. When did I do that? Sunday night? No, Saturday night. And then I watched the second one Monday after Raw. And then the rest of it today. So, yeah. So I split it up. Monday after Raw and the rest today. So you know what, Mike? I love these type of questions. There's a lot of good Ask Chris questions. Okay, so let's answer this one first. Okay, my biggest pet peeve. Something that annoys me. I got a few pet peeves. I don't like. Disrespect is terrible to me. Just feeling that. Time. My biggest pet peeve is poor time management. That grinds my gears. When people don't consider other people's time, that bugs me to snots. That bugs the snot out of me. I think people should respect people's time. And when people don't respect people's time, it grinds my rotors. Latest on Brian Cage. I don't know. I'll text him. You know what? I'll text him, and then I'll put it up on the exclusive for P&P. I'm texting him right now, actually. Live right now. I'm texting him. All right. Just texted him. And he'll be up on the exclusive blogs on his contract status. So if you get the Patreon, you'll see that. I just texted him live. Let's see. What I think of the recent exchange between Mark Henry and Leo Rush, also his published remarks considering about Michael Jordan. Do you believe Mark is being a tad bit entitled? I haven't really looked so much into Leo Rush and Mark Henry. I know that Leo has been trying to sell merch a lot. And so he threatens to sue him. Sorry for defaming me. Okay, I'm about to play this then. I'm about to play this. I'm about to play this here. Is it? Let me see, because if it has any profanity on it, I'm not gonna play it. Let me see. I will see. Do I believe Mark is being a tad bit entitled? Okay, let me read the article here. Stop defaming or my Harvard educated lawyers are going to file. Okay, yeah, he did. He used profanity. Fired off a barrage of tweets attacking the Hall of Famer. So Rush accused Henry of torpedoing black wrestlers' careers. This is why African American talent on the biggest platform continue not to have equal opportunity, because people like you constantly tear your people down. Okay. If you go down to Performance Center NXT, probably 25, I think, people of color in the facility, probably about 80+% of them, I help get them there. I mean, it's completely opposite. Using his name to fame from his music career. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I mean, Leo, sadly, I mean, he just got released from the WWE, and he's trying to do his best on getting opportunities for his music career and stuff like that. And so it doesn't seem like he's a high target for anybody right now, as far as companies are concerned. So I have interviewed Keith Lee, and I talked to MVP. MVP is actually a pretty nice guy. And MVP, I talked to him in New Orleans, actually. It was just him and I just talking. And he said he hates dirt sheets. And we were talking about a few things. I forgot what it was, but we talked for a little bit. It was just me and him, just chilling, just talking. And he's actually pretty cool dude. He said he hates dirt sheets. So he said, I hate him. That's the reason he didn't like interviews. He didn't like getting interviewed because he hates dirt sheets. Not a big fan of Meltzer. So, and that's I found that very hilarious. Leo Rush. I've communicated with Leo Rush. But yeah, he's an interesting guy, man. I mean, I have his number. I texted. We texted back and forth, but he's an interesting guy. I'll just say that much. He's an interesting guy. Live call now with Brian. Be like, you're live on PFE. It's just a random one. Who sings the theme of Pancakes and Powerslams? His name is Eric Cross. Google him. He's a Christian rapper. Eric Cross. You hate when people belch and don't say excuse me. I can definitely understand that. I don't like that either. Thoughts on Jelena kicking out Austin Theory? I think they're making room for Humberto. It could be. I think Humberto. I guess that would be okay, because Carrillo's gimmick is pretty bland right now. So I think Theory joining Rollins' faction is actually a good call. I like that. I like the look of that. It makes sense. I've said it on my show before. It just doesn't make sense. It's PG, Marissa. You know that. Come on, Marissa. You know that. Thank you, Alonzo. I appreciate that. The hardest working podcaster in sports entertainment. I need a wrestler to to say that on my show. The hardest working. I need that guy who did the NWO. Matter of fact, I'm about to text Eric Bischoff and ask him who was the guy who did the NWO voiceover. I'm texting Eric Bischoff right now. And let's see. Who was the guy? Let's see. Who did the biggest icon New World Order voiceover. I want to contact, let's see. I want to contact him for voiceovers for my show. All right, cool. I just texted Eric Bischoff to find that find out who that was. Because I would like for him to say this: the hardest working podcaster in sports entertainment. All right, cool. Yes, my man Gender. That's correct. Gender Mahal. Good job. Good job. Good job. All right. So let's jump into the sad stuff. Let's see what else we got real quick. Let's see. I'm just looking at the comments. Interviewed. Okay. Just into that. Yes. Check out the PNP archives. This message is brought to you by the NW. Yeah, it was. That was. Yes. I'm a big fan of that. That would be super dope. I'm gonna find that out and have that and have somebody do that voiceover for me. That would be awesome. Since they're bringing about the in your house for NXT. So King of the Ring, yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of that. Undertaker's documentary, I think, is excellent. Absolutely excellent. I mean, just incredible. Incredible. Very, very, very incredible. Yes, check out the PNP archives. Do it. Do it now. I do it for you. Check out the archives. Yes, the biggest icon in wrestling. Yeah, that's the one. That's actually what I texted Eric Bischoff. Oh yeah, the buff, the buff cameo, the buff thing. Oh gosh, that's crazy. All right, y'all. So let's jump into the sad stuff. Unfortunately, all right. Without further ado, ladies, you know what time it is. You know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. All right, headlines. Here we go. All right. All right, let's start off with the unfortunate Chad Gasper goes missing after being swept out to sea. First of all, I want to give a special prayer to the family and friends of Shad. So the C team, called off the search, and so excuse me. Let me get some water. Oh, I love me some water. All right. So, very, very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate stuff. I want to, first of all, say that Chad did a very noble thing by having the rescue team rescue his son. He was like, get my son. So that was incredibly honorable. Incredibly honorable. And so that's I really, really appreciate that. It's just sad stuff. It just really, really sad stuff. And 39 years old, just turned 39 a few months back. And just young, man. Just a freak occurrence, it wasn't some, overdose or some unfortunate drug issue or anything like that. Just sad, just really sad, man. And I did chat with JTG, and just not looking good. And so yeah, it's just really sad to know that it's not looking good, y'all. So they've been trying to look for him, they can't find him. He's lost at sea somewhere, and that's what it seems like. The family earlier today, the family, they're still hopeful. WWE even put out a statement about it. They actually said let me see, let me get the statement. Their statement was, WWE's thoughts are with the family of Shad Gasper. Please consider keeping your thoughts during this difficult time. So that was WWE's statement. So the Coast Guard suspended its search. So the search was nearly 24 hours, y'all. Wowzers. Like, it was nearly 24 hours. And I mean, they couldn't find him in 24 hours, man. That's so sad. So crazy. So, man, that is really, really tough information to digest. All right, let's see what y'all's thoughts on it is. Yeah, that was about 3 years ago when he helped someone. Someone was getting robbed, and he helped the person. Very heroic. Proves that tomorrow is never promised. Cherish each other. Amen. Amen. Yeah, MVP was really close to him as well. Yep. Yeah, it's very sad. Very sad. Neil Pruitt is the voice of NWO. Okay, I'll check that out. Eric Bischoff's probably asleep. So, although his he usually responds very promptly. His time frame is like, I think he's mountain time, so he's like 2 hours before me. Yeah, so sad stuff, y'all. I mean, Jamie said, a true hero and an outstanding example, great human being. It's a lot of people who's been saying that about him. I've never dialogued with Shad. I've never had any time. He's huge. I've seen him in person. He's a huge guy, gigantic. Actually, I think I might have in Orlando. Just very briefly. But yeah, but from the people, the wrestlers that I know, they've said they said that he's a really nice guy. So yeah, that's what I heard. And so and plus, I'm cool with JTG, and JTG thinks the world of him. And so I respect what JTG feels about him, because I'm really really cool with JTG. Chris Masters was getting a search party of his own to search for him. That was very noble. That's very, very, very cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Let's see. Elvis, I seen Shad in JTG back in 2008 in December, and Denver. A great time. It was a live Raw in May. So sad to hear stories like that. Yeah. Yeah. Really sad, y'all. It's really sad to hear this stuff. I'm just, I'm just looking for closure. I just want to hear. I just want to see closure. I'm sure that's what the family wants too, like closure. And I think that is the most important thing. That, just right now, at least, just some type of closure. So, all right. So let's talk about Drew Gulick released. So, So here's the deal. This is what Meltzer said. Old Meltzy boy. He said that WWE. It was a contract thing. So WWE had a deal. He wanted to raise. WWE said, not only are we going to not give you a raise, but we're going to take the deal off the table. So, yikes. I mean, that's not good. So hopefully, he's a free agent now, and it sucks because I'm wondering if this is indeed true. I'm wondering that Gulick felt that maybe since he had like the past 6 months, he's had a little bit more he's had a little bit more TV time. Maybe he thought that he felt that he could have a little bit more kind of to say, I guess. But I don't think that was a good idea to ask for a raise. If I would have put my foot, I would have put my feet in SmackDown a little bit more before that happened. So, I mean, I don't think that was the best idea, to be honest with you. But, he was bold enough to do it, and it didn't work out in his favor. So, here's the thing. He goes back to the Indies, right? And since the mass exodus of talent was released, the concern isn't, okay, well, we're going to keep this person because he can go to AEW and be a threat and make more money and have a better, career. That's not a thing. That's not really even a thing anymore, because you got a bunch of people who's gone right now. And so that doesn't really apply. And, AEW is not going to pick up everybody. All the people that was released from AEW, they're definitely going to pick them up, and they're going to pick up everybody. So you have people like Drew Gulick being released and Leo Rush being released. And it's like, there's a lot of people released now. So pick your person or pick your people, really. And so you have a lot of people jockeying for position right now and trying to get to AEW, Ring of Honor, NWA, yes. And here's the crazier part. AEW is doing live stuff, but Ring of Honor, as you heard with PCO, because they have a, LA market, and because the borders are closed, and because you have people, who come in from the UK and Mexico. And so it's like, there's a lot of top names that aren't even able to travel. And so it could be late summer, by the time they open back up, midsummer, maybe by the time they start doing tours again. So, you're without a job. I mean, people who are in ROH, they're without a job, as far as tours are concerned, or as far as, paid events. And that's with anybody right now. I mean, AEW is really the only option because indies aren't doing anything. They're, because they're not allowed to. because of the restrictions. So, and then if you do get, the country's starting to open back up. I'm in Ohio. We open back up May the 31st, and I mean we're slowly doing like takeout restaurants. Gyms open back up the 31st. Daycares, day camps, restaurants open back up next week. So by the end of the month, we'll be open. But at the same time, there's still going to be super precautions based on, live crowds. Now, Vince, he wants to have, the latest is that he wants to have SummerSlam in a live crowd. So it most likely won't be in Boston because the Boston, the officials in Boston don't want to have any, big live events like that. And plus the Northeast pocket is getting heavily affected. So New York and New Jersey is, they're getting hit the most. So that New England pocket is that Northeast and New England pocket. It makes sense that they don't want to have big events. So I would do it. I would do it probably North Central, where in areas where it's not hit as most as far as cases are concerned. So yeah, I mean it's a lot going on. It's a lot of crazy puzzle pieces right now that that's not stable. And so Gulick, people like Gulick, he's actually at a disadvantage now. Now the past month or two, it's helped him because it's he's had more TV time, but at the same time, a chunk of his career was in Evolve and Chikara, and Evolve and Chikara aren't going to have big paid events. So yeah, and perfect segue. The Raw does the second lowest viewership in history, 1.7. Was a couple of weeks ago, a week or two ago, they had 1.6, and so that was the lowest in history. And they, did the second lowest with a 1.7. People don't enjoy events without fans. Simple as that. And I keep saying this, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm going to. Here's the thing: Drew McIntyre should have been champion. He should be champion, but I don't want him to be champion. In this time, I just don't want him to do it. I think he should chase the title. I really think he should. I think and I said this, man. Put it on Lesnar and do the come in every now and again, because right now the WWE Championship, it doesn't feel important now. And it's not Drew's fault at all, man. He's doing his thing. I'm a big Drew McIntyre guy. We're cool. I've had him on my show. I've chatted with him many times, and he's a cool dude, man. So I'm like Team Drew all the way, but this is just a really bad spot to have him. And I mean, look at this stuff. And so all this falls on, like the brunt of this falls on Drew because he's the champ. And so they even did the brand to brand invitational, teasing the split and all that. I mean, teasing the brand ending, split ending, which I think is a stupid idea because it wouldn't make sense to have no split, but you have WWE and Universal Champion. You would have to take one of them out, which would probably be Universal Champion, and that would have the WWE Champion going on Raw and SmackDown. But Raw's viewership is already so bad, and they just signed with Fox, and if they do the same thing on Fox, it's going to look real bad. So It's a really tough spot, man. It really is. I mean, and I've said this before, man. I enjoy watching AEW on a weekly basis more than I do Raw or SmackDown. I like NXT, but still, the fact that they have no fans, it's such a huge issue. It's such a problem. Wrestling is about the crowd. It's I mean, this shows the past 2 months has shown even more why fans matter in pro wrestling, because it's boring to watch, it's tough to watch, fans just don't care, because in the past 4 weeks you've had the two lowest rated Raws in history, and the franchise is 27 years old. And that's terrible. And it goes to show that this season is a really bad season for pro wrestling. And it just goes to show how people, I mean, how it's all about suspending disbelief. It's creating that comic book come to life. It's creating the characters. It's really influencing the character aspect. And it's people together rallying, cheering, booing. All of that matters. Character development matters so much in pro wrestling, and that live energy, the buzz, the crowd, it makes people more excited. It makes the feel more exciting. It just brings a whole different level to it. And that's why I like watching AEW, because they at least have a crowd. Yes, it's most of it is wrestlers, but so what? At least it's still a crowd. You know what's so funny? Pineapple Pete, because of being one of a few people in the crowd, Pineapple Pete went from Shug D, I think it was, or Shug G, one of them, to Pineapple Pete because of Jericho's commentating, and he's became a name because of being amidst of a few people in the AEW crowd, and Jericho put him over because of that. And it's like, that's how you make lemons out of lemons. I mean, that's how you make lemonade out of lemons. You created a star in AEW because Jericho called him Pineapple Pete, and because he was some fan, he was some person who cheered and got, it was jobbing, on AEW Dynamite, and so that's how you do it, man. That's how you create names. That's how you create some type of excitement. But WWE has zero fans in the live crowd, and that is hurting their product, excruciatingly hurting their product. They can't have an off season. I mean, no. I mean, because it's independent contractors. It's not like they have a union or anything like that. So how are they gonna make, if they have an off season, how are they gonna make money? Like, how are you gonna present to stockholders and shareholders and your reports and all that stuff, and how are you gonna present that? So yeah, we don't have any, big income except for network subscriptions, and they have to keep plugging every week, to buy the network. So it's sad. I agree, Mo. AEW's killing it right now as far as head to head. I agree. What can they do? They can have a crowd. Florida considers WWE and pro wrestling an essential. So you could have, there's nothing stopping WWE from having live crowds right now. Look at AEW. AEW's in Jacksonville. They took advantage of Florida officials considering pro wrestling an essential, and they're taking advantage of it. They're having fans. AEW's in Jacksonville. WWE's in Orlando. You can have, I mean, it looked good when they had it on not in Full Sail, which is also in Florida, by the way. And so Full Sail's in Florida. The Performance Center is in Florida. There's nothing stopping WWE from having some type of fan base as far as employees. If it's an essential, you've got 50 people, that can come and wrestle. And so make them fans. Make them fans like AEW is. And so it just seems like WWE has a mentality of like, well, we're just above, making it look Bush League or making it look cheesy by having, wrestlers come out as fans. I don't agree with that. Now there's some people who probably shouldn't be out there because it could hurt their gimmick, but you literally every single week had a long line of people chasing for the 24/7 championship. You can have people out there as fans. Come on now. Be logical here. You had all those people coming out for the 24/7 championship. Now, granted, most of them are gone, unfortunately, but you still have enough people back there to be fans. Akira Tozawa, make him be out there as a fan. Ricochet, Cedric Alexander. You have who else? You got a lot. You have females too. Kairi Sane, Asuka. You can have them as Although I would protect Asuka's character, but Kairi Sane for sure. You've got a lot of options. Lots of options. I don't want to hear it. Let's see what we got here. Comments wise. All right. So let's grade Raw. Speaking of Raw and SmackDown, let's grade Raw and SmackDown. What do y'all give Raw and SmackDown for the week? I'm glad you guys liked my upgrades. And be sure to support me, man. Come on, y'all. It's Patreon. Support. Y'all know good and well you got $6. All the stuff that I do. Y'all know. All right. Should have some exclusive stuff coming up, blog-wise. Go ahead and hit that Patreon. And subscribe, too. You see the ticker down there? Subscribe to the Crave Wrestling YouTube channel. All right? Do that. C- for Raw. Raw C. Let's see. C- says Mike. Raw C, SmackDown C. Raw B-, SmackDown C for Mike. Chris says Raw C-, B- for SmackDown. Elvis says Raw B- and SmackDown C-. There was an asterisk question about what we just talked about. Okay, here we go. Can't WWE let in a limited amount of fans that have to wear a mask in the crowd and keep 6 feet apart and be spread out in the audience? According to Florida, they're opening up some things. So, and the thing is, I mean, just aesthetically, just as far as because I did some work as far as just like when it came to crowd work and stuff for WWE, and it's just the look of it would not look good. So if you had people 6 feet apart wearing masks, aesthetically from a television production wise, that doesn't look good. That's a huge eyesore, and production is real. Like eyesores are just the ultimate no-no when it comes to television production. You don't want eyesores, and it would be a huge eyesore for people from a production standpoint to air people wearing masks, standing 6 feet apart. That gap, huge eyesore. So you don't want to do that from a production standpoint. Like I said, I mean, the best thing to do is to rally up 20 people from backstage and bring them out to the crowd. And it's crazy. It seems like they don't even like where they're air now, like how they're doing their production. They don't, it's like in a room. It's like in a smaller room. Like they took all the mats, the rings out, and actually had a pretty nice setup for Full Sail. Not for Full Sail, but for the Performance Center when NXT was there. It was actually a pretty nice setup. And so they could do that. They could have that type of kind of studio audience feel to it. But we'll see. But it's, again, the point of the matter is because there's no people, like ratings are just, and they're doing anything they can, putting Charlotte out, to SmackDown just unannounced. I mean, it was like last minute announced, and it's like for no, no justification, no explanation. Hey, so Charlotte's a special guest, and now we're going to do this brand invitational 4 times a year. Wild card rule was 3 people a week, and then it became 4 people a week, and then it was like 8 people, and then it started to merge again, and then they did a split again, and then they didn't even do a draft this year. So it's like there's just so much just instability when it comes to the WWE product right now that the fans see that stuff and they're losing interest because they see the instability. Yeah, I mean, they can see that stuff. Corey says SmackDown B-. D. Bryan's match Friday was a B+ with Drew. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. C+ and C-. Kyle doesn't remember SmackDown. A+ for Raw. All right, A+. A+? What was so A+ about Raw? It was ugh. The breakup, and then the Austin Theory going, and then Nia Jax. I knew she was going to be the next opponent for Asuka, but that stuff was boring. And I'm a big Asuka fan, but that stuff was boring. It's not Asuka's fault, but I was not intrigued by that at all, unfortunately. All right, let me do a couple more trivia. Let's do this. Trivia. What was the triple threat main event of the 2004 Backlash pay-per-view? What was the triple threat main event of the 2004 Backlash pay-per-view? Backlash 2004 main event. Who was it? Triple threat main event. Backlash 2004. What do you got? Versus turning heel over here. Yes, Alonzo. Good job. Benoit, Triple H, and HBK. Yep. That was That was Mania 2004 too. So don't feel like it was don't feel like you're wrong. So it was Mania 2004 too. That was also the main event, and Benoit kept the title. So very good match. Very good match. It wasn't as exciting commentary wise as Jim Ross, like almost busting some blood vessels from his head, calling that Mania match. I mean, if you go back and watch that Mania match and listen to JR's commentary, I'm like, man, if like, ooh, calm down a little bit. I love it, but I'm like, I'm concerned for your health because it looks like you're about to just bust some blood vessels or have a heart attack or both. It was quite interesting. All right. So next question is, who won the ECW World Championship at the 2007 Backlash pay-per-view? Who won the ECW World Championship at the 2007 Backlash pay-per-view? 2007 Backlash. Who won the ECW World Championship? ECW World Championship. Brandon, HBK, Triple H, Benoit. Yep, you got that right. Chris Sean and Triple H. Yep, Mo. Yep. All right. Who won? ECW World Championship. Nope. No Kane. Nope. Not CM Punk. Nope. Not Lashley, although he defended it. He didn't win it. He defended it, though. RVD. Nope. Lashley. Nope. Big Show. Nope. Big Show. Nope. McMahon. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Yes, indeed. It was me. It was me all along. It was Vince. He won the ECW championship. All right. For the week, let's do this. It is now time for the flavor of the week. All right, so let's do this, y'all. For the week, Royal Rumble 1994. We're going to review Royal Rumble 1994. So I'm going to bring up the 1994 Royal Rumble. And I watched about the goal. See, the original goal was for me to watch all of the Dark Side, and then talk to Del Wilkes about it because he was going to watch it too. And then his car troubles, his car acted up. And so I am 7 minutes. Yeah, 7 minutes into it right now. So I've got a ways to go. So I will make up for that later on today. So Royal Rumble 1994. 1994. You know what's so funny? My live show is on Del Wilkes' Facebook page right now. So I find that so funny. So everybody listening on Del Wilkes' page right now. Hi. It's funny. It's live on Del Wilkes' page right now. So that's very, very interesting. All right, so Royal Rumble 1994. What were your overall thoughts? Do y'all remember watching that? Do y'all remember watching the Royal Rumble 1994? Let's see. Yeah, I'm watching it on I'm watching it on Del Wilkes' page right now. That is funny. All right, Royal Rumble 1994. Yeah, the Patriot Watch Party. Yeah, that's hilarious. And it's so I find it so hilarious. Like live right now on Del Wilkes' page. All right, so Lonzo says he didn't start watching WWE till SummerSlam 96. That was your first live pay-per-view. All right, so let's go through the Royal Rumble card here. So you had Tatanka defeating Bam Bigelow. Tatanka was the man. I mean, the Tatanka was the man back in the day. I was a huge Tatanka fan. I wanted him to win the Intercontinental Championship, and I was absolutely crushed that Ludwig Borga crushed the career of Tatanka. Speaking of that, I think Ludwig Borga should have a Dark Side episode for sure. I think he should have a Dark Side episode. Definitely Ludwig Borga. Quebecers defeating Bret Hart and Owen Hart. I just I talked to PCO tonight about that, which was really cool. When I kicked your leg, Bret, it felt good, Bret. Devastated about that heel turn because they tease it. Because remember they teased it back at Survivor Series, right? So he was upset, the shove and all that. So they teased it, and then the official turn was Royal Rumble 1994. That was the heel turn of Owen Hart, which I think was a really good idea. As a kid, I was devastated, but in hindsight, it was a good call. Reza Ramon defeating IRS for the Intercontinental Championship, and this is when Razor, he started off as a heel, of course, and I think it was a really good call on the other end to make him babyface. It was a really good call to make him babyface. So I was a big fan of that. Huge fan of that. I was a huge Razor Ramon fan back in the day. Like I was a Razor Ramon mark back in the day. And I was really happy that he retained the title. And I was a kid. I was at this time I was kind of getting hip to the game, and I was like, R Shyster, that's Mike Rotunda. Quit playing. Like, and so I was kind of getting hip to the game, at that time. And I noticed, I was like, I'm not buying this. That's Mike Rotunda. That's Varsity Club. Quit playing. So, I thought it was, I thought it was pretty funny. IRS, that worked for him. I couldn't stand the gimmick. I couldn't stand the character, and he was a heel. So, it worked out. But, yeah. Yokozuna defeating The Undertaker in the casket match. Now, I do remember that. That hurt my heart. I remember all the people in 1994 Royal Rumble coming to the ring that day, that dreadful night on the 1994 Royal Rumble casket match. And that's when Taker, gets ascended up. There's a lot of people. Let me see who else was a part of that. Who all came out? That Crush, the Great Kabuki, Tenru, and Bam Bam, Adam Bomb, Jeff Jarrett, the Headspringers, and Diesel. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. And then he went up to the ceiling. Very interesting stuff. Yeah, so yeah. So rumor has it that was Marty Jannetty that rose up during that skit, or the skit or the segment or whatever, doing that promo when I will not rest in peace. He turns his head, and then the lightning, and then all of a sudden he ascends up, and I was just devastated, man. Like, no, not the Undertaker. And so rumor has it that was Marty Jannetty that went up there. So yeah, this was a solid card, man. 1994 Royal Rumble was really good. And then Bret and Luger co-winning, that was a bit of a buzzkill at the end. I thought that was a bit weird, but overall, it's a pretty solid card. I actually enjoyed it. So, all right, I think I have one more trivia question for you, and then we're gonna wrap it up for tonight, man. Solid show, y'all. I loved it. Good stuff. Big fan. Big fan of this show, y'all. Solid show. Great stuff. I have one more trivia question for you all, and that is, who was the special guest referee of the Triple H versus The Rock at Backlash 2000? Who was the special guest referee of Triple H versus The Rock at Backlash 2000? It's my final trivia question for you for the night. Oh, no. Thank you. Thank you. How's Evan? I don't know. He's in the chat, man. He's in the chat right now. He has some business to take care of. Nice. Keep bringing these, Mike. Undertaker. I like it. I like the segment. Do it weekly, Mike. The fact of the night. I love random stats. I'm a huge stat guy. I love random questions and random stats. I love it. Undertaker has wrestled in 2,274 matches in WWE and has won 17 of them. So percentage-wise, that is 75.5% of his matches. That is impressive. So that means that on average, he wins 3 out of every 4 matches. So statistically, The Undertaker wins 3 out of 4 matches. That's impressive. That is very, very impressive, actually. Shane McMahon. That is correct, Aaron. Great job, Aaron. And welcome, Aaron, to the PNP Nation. Y'all, looks like you've been very involved in the show tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. We have a guest. We have a interview every week. This is the 425th episode, as you see here. Everybody who's watching us right now, subscribe to the Crave Wrestling YouTube channel. And I appreciate y'all, man. Another wonderful show. Again, my prayers go out to Shad Gasper's family and friends and loved ones. Very tough time for us in the pro wrestling industry, but I can imagine even tougher time for family and friends. So praying for you all in tough time, and I just pray for some closure in this, in some capacity, some type of closure. Because I can just imagine them just nightly just waiting for a call, and it's a really tough spot to be in. So prayers go out to Shad Gaspert, family and friends. All right, y'all. Good stuff. Another wonderful PNP show. Another very successful PNP show. Let's see. Got some time for a few Ask Chris questions if you have them. Let's see. Ask Chris questions. I got time for 1 or 2 more. So go ahead and ask a question or 2, and I will answer it before we go off the air. So go ahead and ask the question. My man, Robbie, another jam-packed show and never disappoints. Good stuff, man. I appreciate that very much. Appreciate it. Mike, as always. Good question. Should WWE do another draft? Yes. I think they should keep the split, and I think they should do another draft. I think they should have some. I think it's just a matter of now just having, now just having different feuds. I think they should have it. I suppose since they had a draft like late last year or whatever, they want to do it, or last year later they didn't want to do it, and the draft they have for Fox was just horrible. That was just terrible with Stephanie coming out, and it wasn't even no rhyme or reason to it. It was terrible. So, and plus they don't have GMs anymore, so they just need something. They need some type of incentive or motivation. They need something. And so, yeah, it's sad. Thoughts on Road Warriors Dark Side of the Ring? I thought it was good, man. I love the Dark Side of the Ring series. I spoke with Animal, and I actually did a exclusive interview on CBR, and he said that there was a couple things that they got, that weren't inaccurate, but overall he liked it, and I liked it too. I love Dark Side. I love the Dark Side series. I love documentaries. And I love the theme. Is sad, but I mean, you got to it happens. I mean, it's a part of life. Crazy stuff like that happens. So making documentaries out of it, make it intrigued, and just make us really and be so involved and investing in it. I think it's great. I love the Dark Side series. Thoughts on the Iconics? Not a fan. I had heard the rumor Sting the AEW. He's not going to compete. So why? 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 Amazing show. Thanks, Mo. As always, man. You the man. What wrestler got me hooked on wrestling? I don't even say it's necessarily a wrestler. I just started watching wrestling. My great grandma, I've shared this story before. My great grandma got me hooked to wrestling. So she was a big NWA fan. I remember Dusty Rhodes, baby. I remember Dusty. And I remember Sting coming in, and I was hooked on Sting because of he was just so electrifying, and I just loved the howl, and it was just so infectious, man. It was easy to like, and that's there with this Hard Times promo, baby. It's feud versus the Nature Boy Ric Flair. I remember when he was the Midnight Rider, and I was devastated that he was the Midnight Rider coming out and acting heelist, and I didn't like it at all, actually, baby. I was very devastated when the Midnight Rider came out and was feuding against Tully Blanchard, baby. I remember the Horsemen. Yeah, I mean, of WWE, and I remember WrestleMania, the beginning of WrestleManias, and of course Hogan. Remember Hogan? I remember Saturday nights. I remember watching Saturday Night's Main Event. I was a huge Saturday Night's Main Event fan. Yeah, so it was just wrestling, period, man. Really. Thank you, baby. Dusty Rhodes, if you will. Yes, I do want you to do a fact of the night every week. I do, absolutely. Did you hear about the Revolt name taken from them? Did you see? Yeah, I did hear a little bit about that. I didn't get so much into it because I really wasn't interested, so to speak. I mean, I really wasn't very interested, honestly. But I mean, I'm sure they'll come up with another name, actually. All right, what do I think of the main event should be at SummerSlam? I think the main event should be Drew versus Brock rematch. I think Drew should beat Brock with fans there. Should beat him twice. Seth Rollins did the same thing, beat him twice, beat him at Mania and SummerSlam. So that's what should happen with Drew. And Drew should do it with people. He should be champ with the crowd, and he should beat him with people there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is it for the nights. Good stuff. Appreciate y'all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as always, 425 episodes in the books. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a fun night as always. I didn't expect anything different. And the PNP Nation, as always, you don't let me down. You didn't let me down, and you don't let me down. So until next week, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your week of wrestling. God bless, and always remember, I do it for you. Have a good night, everybody. Peace.